questions that were submitted earlier. And what I'll do is I'll quickly hit the question and answer. At the same time, if you have questions, raise your hand. We'll go ahead and get a 3x5 card to you. You can write that down. Or we'll get a microphone to you after I touch on a couple of these. Okay, so I'll just hit one or two real quickly. What does all of this mean to the newly hired younger generation that is on the bench that we are building? The answers provided by the G1 is our newly hired and our younger employees are important to us since these employees are the future. As everyone is aware, we've been directed to take a cut of positions and money. In an effort to retain our employees with less service but future potential, we offer early retirement and voluntary separation incentives for some of our employees. Consequently, with the loss of some of the experienced workforce and the decision to give up some of our vacant positions, we're able to keep our younger generation employees on board, as well as other experienced and dedicated employees. As we've said, there was no hiring freeze. AMCOM continues to hire, but hire as we restructured it and reshaped as necessary. The question was also asked about a hiring freeze, and the answer is, of course, we are not in a hiring freeze, nor is one expected. Several months ago, we instituted a civilian hire review process to review all the hirings to make sure they were indeed valid. We were hiring in the right reasons, and it's reviewed by the G8, the G1, and myself, and the organization that is nominating for a position to be filled. So it's continuing to get that review as we continue to restructure. A question was sent in about contractors. The question was, please address impact of manpower reductions on contractors. For example, numbers affected, timetable categories more or less likely to be impacted. And the answer is the current FY13 divestitures are for Department of Army civilians only. It does not address contractors at this time. That is why they are not part of that funding level. Also have a question, a 3x5 card submitted just a few minutes ago. It goes for 1102s. Can they seek out positions in the ACT Center before becoming excess? And I think the answer is, Karen, is those are. I think we have two in that particular situation. Okay. And yes, we look across the LCMC for that particular skill set for 1102 to place them over the course of the next 13 months or so. Okay. Karen said that's one of the things we'll do is look across Redstone, obviously, for that particular series. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's for all series. And 1102 we discussed yesterday. We should go over that.
Okay. Questions from the floor. Ellen's back here dying to get the microphone up to somebody. So, any questions that anybody would like to add? I know we got lots of questions. Please. We got plenty of time.
Don't be shy.
If not, I'll read more questions then. I hate to do that.
Man, I brought a flak vest and everything.
We've got guards at the rear entrances. There we go. Yes, sir.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Ellen.
You know, she was ready with the microphone, but no.
Well, I hope the answer to this question is no, but the program office that I support, Aviation Systems and Aircraft Survivability Equipment, have come to me recently with a rash of matrix support position requests. And I wonder, as they continue to reduce PEO organization for personnel, is that going to impact, is our reductions going to impact matrix support?
Well, the answer should be no, because matrix support are reimbursable positions from the PMs. Now, I'll tell you that the ASAult community and the PDOs and PMs are going through some reductions, mostly with their core. But as you know, in the flexibility of the life cycle management, the matrix positions go and wane based on the life cycle of that particular program. And so they have to have the flexibility to hire when the PMs say, I need more matrix support. And we've got to be flexible enough to give them those people with the expertise so we stay relevant to them, but we also keep our base to make sure that we go. So the answer to that is, if they've come and said, we have matrix support, we need to do this, we're going to plus up, then we will help to make sure that they get hired from our workforce.
Here's one Steve made interest. When service contracts are up for renewal or renewal in FY12, will the contract personnel on the contract be cut by 5%, 10%? If not, why?
That's a great question. Service contracts right now for the Army are $80 billion. So if you think that this snippet, as far as Sec Army is concerned, he's going after service contracts as well. Now the question is how much and how fast? I don't know that. But I will tell you, we have an initiative going on with Steve and Chris Carlisle's here from CCAD that basically every service contract is being renewed and say, why aren't we doing that? Us. Or if we are doing it, why? Is it the right thing? Is there a business case done? And do we get a return on investment? And if we don't, then why are we doing a service contract? Because the scrutiny for service contracts is coming, and it's going to come full bore here, I envision, next year. I mean, the concept is that you need service contracts to get things done, and they can execute it, and we don't have the capability inside to do that for whatever the function is. Whether it's a function that we need to support the warfighter, or whether it's in a PM shop doing something else, that's the idea. If we can do it from within, and we should be doing it from within. If we can do it from Matrix, then we ought to do it with Matrix, from our own folks. And then hire some other folks to come in, train them up, so we can keep this flow going of expertise in logistics, security systems, contracting, engineering, all those different fields. So, but they are going after service contracts in a big way. They just named a DASA, I don't know what his second title is. He's a DASA for service contracts. It's Jim Sutton. He used to be the DPEO for ammunition. Went to DC, and now that's his new title. They just stood that up to look specifically at service contracts and how to get a handle on all that.
Go to the next slide, please. The question came up, why is the Bear buyout of $25K not larger, considering this is the same amount offered in 1995? I don't know.
I know it's a law. That's about all I know.
It is what it is.
And they haven't changed it yet. That's all I have to say about that. It's a law. They haven't changed it. And I got Fred right here to vouch for that. I did right here.
Other questions, folks? Get back, please. All right, I'll start calling on people. Will there be a RIF next year? We are talking about that, right? Okay.
Boy, you.
So the questions I've been advanced, we've covered in some form or fashion.
This time Skip's going to sing.
Those football season, we go football.
What are you laughing at, Jake? You're not good.
Question is, doesn't the RIF take away the flexibility of management to decide who gets cut? And if so, how does that help the 17 individuals or slots that are in question?
The answer is no. The RIF is for a specific number of people, but if we can find jobs for them before they get RIF, then we can move them to those positions. So that's the flexibility. I mean, when there's not even an issue. I mean, that will not stop anything when we do that. Well, I know that Karen is going to stay back here, and I got a lot of attention last time. If you have individual questions or you have something else. Now, again, I just want to emphasize, our mission in life is to support you. And when we get a cut like this, it is never easy. You know, we try to do it in the most logical and efficient way, taking into account what our mission is and where we're going. And so, I appreciate all the support that you all give to the warfighter. Because no matter where you work and what you do, ultimately it gets back to the warfighter, and that's the power of AMCOM LCMC. appreciate all that support. And as we showed you on that chart, we're not alone. We're taking this with the rest of the Army. 8,700, ours was 272. AMC's was about 1223, I think. And so we all have this burden to go through, but I think we've done it the best way possible for the command and for the individuals. And that's what our purpose is.
All the questions.
Okay, good.
What is the likelihood of more reductions in FY12? I assume there does in FY11.
I don't know. I mean, we just had our resource summit yesterday with General Dunwoody, where we went through all of the different resources for 12. And as long as our supplemental, our OCO money stays intact, we're looking very good right now. If the OCO starts going away, we have already articulated to the command and to the Department of Army, we're in trouble. Our base dollars has basically been, a lot of it has moved over into OCO because most of our work is supporting the warfighter. But when the warfighter comes home, we still support it. And so it's got to move back into base. And so we're working at it. So the bottom line is, there's none on the horizon that I am aware of. Could there be more? Yes. We weren't projecting this 272 to happen so fast. Nor the number to be 272. But it did. And so right now, I'm not getting any indications from my higher command that we're going to have another.
And the question is, I know VSIP was approved for some last Friday. Will there be, or when will the next ones be notified? They've already been notified, correct?
Yeah. All people, I believe, correct me, all people have been notified if they're VSIP. They were offered the VSIP and said, we can take it. And that's how we got to the number 92 instead of 100, because they decided not to take it, even though they said they were interested in it. And that's fine. But then that just, I had to find 8 more people.
The question is, when will the employees who are affected know who they are, as well as those who are not affected?
Yeah. All those people have been notified. They were notified either yesterday or this morning.
The question is, explain the RIF process and criteria affecting personnel.
I'd like to defer that to Karen. I'm brave and not crazy. I don't. All I know, it takes a very long time. I was given a magic number of 242 days to get through the process. So after that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, so everyone that's been around the civilian world a long time knows that RIF is a very involved process. You have retention registers that are developed, and of course we'll work with the Civilian Personnel Advisory Center on developing those retention registers. And the factors that are included are the service computation date for RIF, which takes into account the performance appraisals. You also have veterans preference. You have what's called competitive levels. And all of those factors are taken into consideration. The overarching retention register is developed by competitive area. So everybody within AMCOM is in a specific competitive area. We have some that are grouped by their acquisition demonstration project, and then it's the rest of AMCOM. So you're competing with each other within that competitive area for the jobs that are available. Make sense?
Okay, Karen, you stay the mic. The only mention, this is from Facebook, so thank you whoever posted this on Facebook, smarter than I am. The only mention was in the first round where there were 100 people offered VSIP. How many more were offered last Friday evening? And are there going to be around 3?
Okay, we had 39 more that were offered VSIP last Friday. They have until this Friday to make a decision whether or not they're going to accept. At this point in time, we have no others that we're going to offer.
Are you confident that we can find positions for the 17 people on the access list.
Yes. I have been given assurances from my G1 staff.
We can do that.
No, yes, I feel very confident. I've looked at who they are and the field they're in, and looked at attrition over the last few years, and I'm very confident we will find places for those people.
Before Karen Van Der sits down, I want to recognize Karen and the entire G1. I want to let you know that across, not just within AMCOM, but across Redstone and beyond Redstone within AMC, our G1 has been the source of a lot of the expertise and information that people have gone after as we've gone through VERA-VSIP and all the reductions and what is allowed and what is not allowed. So Karen, I just want to say thank you to you and your team for all that you've done here this time. Thank you. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, again, the G1 will be here after we adjourn here. I want to thank you all for coming, showing the interest. I understand I'm on TV, so hi, Carolyn. The idea is that we want to answer all the questions and get the information to you. And hopefully this made you a little more comfortable where we're at, where we're going. And again, those people have been notified, and I will be making sure that they get the 17 get taken care of. That's my responsibility. Okay, thanks.